Good evening, Nashville. Welcome to SportsLine. John Burton with you, the regular Wednesday extravaganza. Great to have you with us. Got a lot to get to today. Going to be joined in studio by Tennessee State head football coach Rod Reed as we talk a little OVC football. And folks, you can smell it, can't you? Football is in the air on the college and pro level. The college kids set to hit the field for fall camp in just about a week or so. But the Tennessee Titans, they report to camp today. They hit the field tomorrow morning for their first training camp practice. That's at 9:50 at St. Thomas Sports Park, and that is open to the public. So you are invited to go on down and check out the two-tone blue as they hit the field for the first time. Couple of big doings with the Tennessee Titans as they report to camp today at St. Thomas Sports Park. Number one, left tackle Taylor Lewan, in case you missed it, did report today. Still doesn't have a new contract, but did report today. You may recall he skipped that mandatory minicamp before the Titans broke for the summer several weeks ago. Wanting a new deal, he and his reps, GM John Robinson, you'll hear from him in just a minute, saying that talks on a new deal with Taylor Lewan are going well, and that him showing up today was a show of good faith. There had been some talk that maybe Taylor Lewan would hold out of training camp, but he is present and accounted for and will be on the field practicing tomorrow at St. Thomas Sports Park. The other big item of news involving the Tennessee Titans, linebacker Kevin Dodd, he is no longer a Tennessee Titan. He was released by the team today. That was confirmed by General Manager John Robinson, who, again, you'll hear from in just a couple of minutes. Kevin Dodd, of course, 2 years ago was a second-round pick of the Tennessee Titans in 2016, 33rd pick overall out of Clemson, and it just never clicked for him. Injuries, ineffective play, and then this some odd behavior by him this past summer, not showing up for most of the OTAs and the mandatory minicamp, and then failing to show up to camp. He was due to report to camp on Sunday, did not show up. So he is no longer a Titan. Kevin Dodd released today by the Tennessee Titans. Again, GM John Robinson addressing the media to kick off camp earlier today. He goes into a little bit more detail about these two big items, Taylor Lewan and Kevin Dodd.
Welcome back. Hope everybody had a good summer. Was able to catch up on some family time. I know I sure was. But it's good to be back to football. Be back here at St. Thomas Sports Park with our team and get working. Just wanted to update on a couple roster things here before coach and some of the players come out. Taylor Lewan was here today. It's good to have him back. I know that our coaches are excited to work with him and had really good discussions over the last 24 hours with his representation, and nothing's finalized, but I would say we're certainly headed in the right direction. And then released Kevin Dodd yesterday. I'll say this about Kevin. Kevin is a good young man. He's a talented young man, and I take full responsibility for that one. I've got to do a better job scouting moving forward. I think that the roster is now at 89. 89 players are accounted for on our football team, and we'll work to add a 90th guy here in the next day or so to be at the full roster limit, and that's kind of where we're at. I'll take one or two questions and then get out of your guys' way.
Did Dodd come in? Did you meet with him face to face?
Yeah. He and I sat down yesterday. Had a really good discussion, and wish him nothing but the best moving forward in his career.
You see a Lewan deal before the preseason gets here?
Yeah. I don't know. The preseason's upon us. We're in it now. The guys are here. So as far as for the game, I don't know. I'd say we've made really good progress, and that's about all I can really comment on that for now.
Did you need to know he was going to be here?
Do you feel like maybe that Dodd get an indication that he just didn't want to be here, or has lost the desire to play the game, or anything like that?
Yeah, again, with every player, there's different circumstances that come up in their life that affect what they do on a day-to-day basis, and I'd like to keep those conversations private between Kevin and I. I've got a really good relationship with Kevin. I respect him. I know it didn't go as we had planned here, but I really respect the young man that he is, and he and I hope to remain friends with him moving forward, and I think we will.
Did you say you talked to Taylor's people over the last 24 hours? Did you need assurances that he would be here before those conversations would start?
No, I'd say they've been going on for the last day or two, and kind of really ramped up a little bit more last night. And it's good. It's good that we've got 89 guys here, and like I said, I'm excited to work with this group.
All right, there you have it. Titans General Manager John Robinson addressing the media earlier this morning at St. Thomas Sports Park. The two big items. Taylor Lewan, as we said, did report to camp today. He will be on the practice field tomorrow, is not going to hold out while they work out a new deal for the Pro Bowl left tackle. And linebacker Kevin Dodd has been released by the team. You heard John Robinson. The Titans roster currently stands at 89 heading into the start of training camp tomorrow. They'll look to add one more player to get to the NFL training camp roster limit of 90. So you're up to date on the Tennessee Titans. Of course, we'll have complete coverage of day one of training camp practice tomorrow on News Channel 5 and News Channel 5 Plus. So you definitely want to be checking that out. But tonight, we're going to be talking college football, OVC football in particular. And we are joined in studio by a friend of the show and one of the real good guys in Nashville sports, the head coach of the Big Blue Tigers of Tennessee State, our man, the great Rod Reed. Welcome back to the show, Coach. Hey, it's been too long.
Thanks for having me, man. It has. It's time to get down to
Well, we got to keep things equal because Lehman had Will Healy of Austin Peay on the other night. So we'll ask you about the Governors coming up in the show.
There you go.
But we wanted to have you on tonight. How are you? How's your summer?
I'm well. You know, it's been a real eventful summer. Doing a lot with the family. My son is an AAU basketball player.
He's a hooper, I hear.
Yeah, he's pretty good. You know, my daughter, she's actually in Tuscaloosa right now at a cheer camp. So they've been keeping mom and dad pretty busy all summer.
Yeah, well, that's good. All right, Coach, your team picked 4th, I believe, in the media poll.
Mm-hmm.
Picked 6 as well. Which poll is that?
That's the coaches poll.
Coaches poll.
The coaches poll. We were picked 6.
Yeah, I like to think I know you a little bit. I don't know if you're too happy with those preseason projections for your team.
You know, we try not to read too much into those things. You know, being picked 6 obviously, you know, rubs you the wrong way a little bit. But it is what it is. It's on paper. I think, like I said at Media Day, we've been picked 6th and won 10 games before. So, you know, we want to see where we are in November, you know, and that's what's most important to my staff and myself is how we're gonna get past these fast starts and, you know, get into the media season and then finish the season strong. So we've got 3 phases in which we've got to work on: start fast and then maintaining in the middle and finishing strong. And I think if we can put that together and stay healthy and get a little bit of luck, you know, I think we got an opportunity to be a pretty good football team this year.
Yeah, Media Day was Monday. I was not there. I know you missed me. I was
wondering where you were, but, you know, I know that your schedule is very busy.
Oh, I don't know about that. How was OVC Media Days for you? I know you're pulled in a lot of directions. I saw you on social media. I see that you have an Instagram account now.
Yeah,
you've had a Twitter account for a long time, but now Coach Reed has an Instagram account, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't ask me what the handle is or whatever it is.
I think it's at Roderick Reed, I want to say. Okay. Maybe Roderick_Reed.
Whatever it is, my daughter, she did it.
We'll let you know what it is by the end of the show,
We'll get it posted, folks. And I'll talk to Zakia and Jose and make sure that I can get that Instagram page up. But it's good for recruiting. You know, you got to follow these young kids these days, and kind of Facebook is out a little bit. Yeah. Facebook is more for family now for me.
It's for older guys like us now.
And for older guys like us. And then Twitter is kind of phasing out, so it's Instagram and Snapchat. I won't be Snapchatting, but, you know.
No snaps for Coach
no
Reed?
snaps, but I can get on the Instagram. And I think that it's imperative that we are social media active, you know, as coaches, kind of to follow some of our kids also, as well as, you know, keep up with what's going on in recruiting, because a lot of recruiting things pop up on there, who's going where, who's doing this and who's doing that, and that's good to see.
What kind of adjustment is that for you and other coaches, you think? Because, like, you know, when you first got into coaching, it wasn't like that. You didn't have to worry about you know, all this social media. Now it's like, you know, for what I do for a living, obviously it's very important to keep up with what's going on, but you said it. Coaches today, you got to be able to know what these kids are up to.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're going to know within 24 hours of a kid's visit where he visited, how the visit went, and all of that. And if you're recruiting a kid at Eastern Kentucky or Eastern Illinois or anybody else for that matter in our conference or Jackson State, you know, they're recruiting, you know, you look on those social media pages and you can see how they really felt about the visit. Sometimes they post good stuff, sometimes not so good stuff. So we try to keep abreast of that. And I think all of our coaches have Twitter and Instagram accounts, and you know, kids inbox a lot. You know, it'll be 12 o'clock at night, and you look, you hear something, and what's up, coach? I'm asleep. That's what's up. But it's fun, and it's good to stay active on that.
Because it's funny you mentioned that, because I spoke to you Monday night after media days, and you sound like you were ready to drop. I mean, it's a long day for you, but obviously these are important to help promote the program and to promote OVC football, which has become very competitive over the last several years.
It is. Media day was really fun. They switched the location up a little bit this year. We were at the MC Suite out at the airport, and they had a couple of different things that we did with the OVC Digital Network and things of that nature. We had some live interviews. The kids had fun with it. I'm sure everybody was entertained by Mr. Newbold's
yeah, we're gonna get to that.
He put some bulletin board material out there, but it was fun to see those guys get dressed up and how they articulated themselves in front of the media. I thought they represented the school really well, and I was happy to see them have an opportunity to promote the program.
Where would you rank the strength of this conference right now, OVC? In terms of the teams doing well, the competition, all that. How strong is the OVC heading into 2018? I
don't think the OVC gets the respect that it deserves. When you start talking about multi-bid teams in the playoffs, and quite frankly, we got to do better. We got to get in the playoffs and win.
Right.
But I think that the strength of the conference is really strong. I think that if you look at the games that we played out of conference and were able to win as a conference, it should bode well for our conference and the RPI and the SRS and all those different rating things that they have. I think that it's a very, very good conference. Beth DeBush and her staff, they do a great job promoting the conference, and I think that we're right there. We're right there. So, you got, the story of the year was Austin Peay last year, obviously.
Sure.
What Will did up there and the season that they had. So, we've got to have one of those kind of seasons this year. It's time for us to bounce back and get back in the national race. And I think that if we do that, we'll have several teams in this conference that'll make some noise.
Folks, Rod Reed, head coach of the Tennessee State Big Blue Tigers, will be with us throughout the hour. Your phone calls are welcome. Number at the bottom of your screen. Time for our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about your wide receiver, Stephen Newbold, and you mentioned it, some of the bulletin board material that he had at Media Days this week. We'll get into that, and we'll talk much more about the upcoming season for Big Blue. Stay with us. The coach is here. You there. We're back after this.